It's mad out there. It's real crazy. It's raining real heavy, and I was crazy enough to think I can measure rainfall. So I went with two things. A big, it's really good. I went with the beaker, and I went with this one to see which can measure rainfall better. So the reason is I do not understand why meteorologists or geographers or whatever they call themselves, they measure rainfall in millimeters, inches, or centimeters instead of measuring volume. We are used to measuring water, milk, whatever it is, liquids in volume. Not, have you ever asked yourself why? Huh? I have to clean out my glasses because I can't barely see. But what I need to tell you now, what this video is all about, is why meteorologists measure rainfall in millimeters or inches or centimeters. So that's the topic. Now, the reason is, if you have, say, rainfall falling all over the place, you can't measure. It's difficult. I tried to measure rainfall. You can barely do it. And as humans, we are used more to thinking in terms of how deep is the water on the ground? Can I pass through it? Can I go into the water using in my shoes? How deep is it? Is it knee deep, waist deep, or am I going to just drown in it? So it's very difficult to measure rainfall using this because it pours in a big area, so you can't have a giant tank all over the place. So what meteorologists have done and mathematicians have done is to measure rainfall like this in terms of surface area. For example, if you have that's 1 meter, which is 100, actually, which is 100 centimeters, and 100 centimeters. If I find the area of this, I can multiply 100 times 100. That gives me 10,000. There's there. Now, if I multiply by the height, I can find the volume of water that can cover a square meter. Now, suppose I multiply that by 0.1 of a centimeter. If I multiply that by 0.1 times 0.1, that gives me 1,000 centimeters cubic. Now 0.1 of a centimeter, because I'm using the same units, centimeters, 0.1 of a centimeter is a millimeter, because they are, in a centimeter you've got 10 millimeters. And these are just centimeters. So when I multiply that, I get this, and this is equivalent to 1 liter of water. That means this, by doing that, meteorologists hit two birds with one stone. Number one, they can tell, humans can tell the height of the water just by looking by the height of the water, like in millimeters, centimeters, or inches. They can also calculate the volume of water in a specific area of the ground, like meters, like 1 meter squared. So essentially, you can calculate all the volume of water in a certain area, as long as it doesn't seep into the ground and doesn't evaporate. And to do this, meteorologists use rain gauges. Now, on that note, it is important to note that in Northampton, for example, in the United Kingdom, Northampton got only 700 millimeters of rainfall in a year. That's good for Northampton, but if you compare that to the wettest place on the planet, it's called Cherrapunji. Cherrapunji in India has got 11,430 millimeters. That's about 11 point something, 0.5 meters depth of water in a whole year. In a single day, on the 15th to 16th of June 1995, Cherrapunji experienced a rainfall depth of 2.5 meters. That's pretty high. So you can imagine how much water that is. So now, if you've got any question, let me know. Put down there. Ask your geography teachers, for example, discuss more about this, why meteorologists or geographers measure rainfall in millimeters. And you might just get some very good discussion on this. And thank you for watching. And if you have any question, please drop me a line and I can explain further. Thank you very much and have a nice day.